Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about the node editing tool in Vectric VCarve. I am using VCarve Pro 9.5. It's not the newest, so if you have a newer version, some things may have changed, but the basic principles are pretty universal when it comes to node editing. The first thing we need to know is what exactly is a node. When we draw a line in VCarve, we are creating a vector, and that vector is made up of small points connected together. These points are called nodes. The nodes can be joined together by a span, an arc, or Bezier curves. Node editing mode allows us to go in and edit a vector using these points. When you use the Draw Line tool, you are creating nodes with spans in between them. When you use the Draw Arc tool, you are creating nodes with an arc in between them. And lastly, when you use the Draw Curve tool, you are creating nodes with Bezier curves between them. Let's look at each kind of line in node editing mode. First, you have a line created by the Draw Line or Polyline tool. When you click on the line, it highlights it. Now click to turn on node editing mode. Once it is on, you will see additional information being given to you. Now, you can see each individual node that was created. One of the nodes will be green, indicating the starting point of the line, and a small arrow tells you the direction the line is going. Now that we are in node editing mode, we have several options available to us. We can grab a single node and move it to a new location, causing the spans to automatically adjust. We can lasso or shift-click several nodes to move them all at once, only affecting the spans on either end of the selection. And finally, you can use the node editing menu or shortcuts to do numerous edits like adding nodes, cutting the vector, or deleting spans entirely. We'll go into detail about those in a bit. Now let's look at a line created by the Draw Arc tool. The main information is the same when you enter node editing mode. You will see the nodes, a midpoint, and a green node with the arrow indicating direction. The main difference here is that the arc between the two nodes will always stay symmetrical. When you move the points, the arc is redrawn to be a perfect arc between the 2 points at the distance specified when creating the arc. You can also adjust that distance by grabbing the midpoint and changing its position. A circle is just 4 arcs put together. Now we have the Draw Curve tool. This will create a completely unique line based on where you click. Once in node editing mode, you can see that it has created nodes with curved lines in between. These curved lines are called Beziers. If you're curious why, they named it after a car manufacturer. Feel free to pause the screen and read more, or go to the wiki page. I'll link it in the description. Anyway, the Beziers are very unique. You can see that each node has 2 control points coming off of it. That's these little lines with the hollow squares at the end. These points allow you to change the way the line relates to the node it is connected to. There's a lot of mathematics behind it. Again, check the wiki if you're into that. But for our purpose, you can just grab the point and move it until you get the desired look you're going for. Now that we're in node editing mode, let's look at the menu available to us. Using the mouse, you can right-click on any portion of the vector and a menu will pop up. The menu differs slightly if you click on the node directly or the span in between. Here are the options that come up when you click on a span. Let's go through what each option does. With the 2 line, Bezier, or arc functions, you'll be changing the portion you clicked on to that type of line. For instance, if you take 2 nodes with a span, right-click on the span and say to arc, it will change the span into an arc. Likewise, if you take an arc and change it to a Bezier, you will now have the different controls available for that line type. The next control we have is the Insert a Point function. Just like it sounds, this will add an additional node where the pointer is positioned. You can quickly add a lot of nodes by just tracing along the line and hitting the I key. Cut vector is a control that allows you to separate sections of a vector into two pieces. You must always cut the vector at a node, and the node you choose will become the endpoint of the original vector, while a new node will be created and become the endpoint of the new section created by the cut. Delete span will act much like the cut vector tool, only it will delete the span you click on and create endpoints from the nodes the span was connecting. You will end up with two separate pieces. Insert midpoint will put a new node at the exact middle of the span you click on. Reverse direction is an important tool that allows you to switch which end of the vector is the starting point. You will notice when I click it, the green node switches to the opposite side and the small arrow now points the other direction. This can be very useful in creating toolpaths. Lastly, we have the close vector tool. This tool will connect the two endpoints of the vector in the manner you choose from the submenu. If you select with line, it will simply draw a line between the two nodes and the vector is closed. If you choose to close it with a smooth curve, it will attempt to make the nicest connection possible with a single smooth curved line. Luckily, you will be able to adjust them if it's not quite what you had in mind. Lastly, you can choose to move the points together. This will take those two endpoints and have them meet in the middle. Generally, you will only use this function when you have two nodes fairly close together, as it can change your vector dramatically otherwise. Now, if you right-click directly on a node, the menu will now have these options. A couple of these are the same as the span menu, such as cut vector and insert point and close vector. Delete point will delete the node and connect the two nodes on either side with a straight line. Smooth point will turn the spans on either side into beziers and attempt to shape the line in a round fashion with that node at the tip of the arc. Make a start point is similar to the reverse direction tool. It is only available on the endpoints and will switch the direction of the vector. Edit Polyline allows you to select any endpoint to begin drawing from with the Drawline Polyline tool. This is handy if you need to add on to the end of a vector, or if you accidentally exit the Polyline tool too soon. The Mirror Horizontal and Vertical tool allow you to make edits to one side of a vector and have them mirrored on the other side. And finally, the Properties tool allows you to set exact coordinates of the node, allowing ultimate precision placement when needed. Now that we know all of the tools available to us, I'm going to show you how I use them to create the shapes I need in Vectric. For this video, I'll be drawing from scratch, but I do plan to do another video where I use the Trace Bitmap tool for more complicated patterns, and then use the Node Editing tool to clean up the vector created. I have a picture here that has playing card suits on it, and I would like to recreate those. I'm not claiming that this is the best or most efficient way to do any of this. I'm just illustrating how I have found these tools can be used effectively in VCarve. So let's begin with the spade. Zoom in nice and close. I will begin with the Draw Line tool and click on the outermost edges and directional changes of the spade. Obviously this doesn't look great, but that means it's time to go into node editing mode. The first thing I'm going to do is change this line into a Bezier curve. Then, I will grab the control points and move them around until the line matches the shape of the spade. Now sometimes you will need to go left and right to change the curve. Other times, you may need to go towards the point, or away from it, to get the shape exactly how you want it. It's just trial and error. Now, as crazy as it seems, I'm going to use the same technique for the rest of the spade as well. It's important to have the nodes exactly where you want them, as their placement affects the curves you are editing. See how when I moved that point, my curve no longer follows the shape? And now you see we have a very nice and clean shape, all by changing the lines to Bezier curves and lining them up with the picture. Now, for the diamond, I'm going to take the Polyline tool again, and I will just click on each point as well as the approximate midpoint on each side. Now we will go to node editing mode again. First, I'm going to make sure that my midpoints are lined up well, just by clicking and moving them. Now, we are simply going to right-click on the midpoint node to open the menu and select Smooth Point. I will do that on each of the 4 midpoint nodes. Check the alignment of the points. As you can see, we have a nice diamond that matches closely to the picture. Now you can go back in and adjust the Bezier curves it created if needed. Now we will move on to the club. For this one, I will show you how you can use the cut, vector, and join tools together to make the shape you want. The first thing I need to do is draw a circle. Now switch to your point tool and make sure the circle is the exact dimensions you want. Then, I'm going to copy and paste using the standard keyboard shortcut Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V, but you can also use the edit menu if you want. Then just move the circles to the other parts of the club. Now you see we have the circles outlined, but we need to connect them and add the rest of the shape. The first thing I will do is select my 2 intersecting circles by clicking one and holding the Shift key, and clicking the other one. Now I will go over here to the Weld tool, which will delete the overlapping portions and connect the circles into one vector. Now I will roughly draw lines following the excluded parts of the shape, which will allow them to connect. Now you will need to zoom in where the circle and line connects. First, insert a point on the circle by hitting the I key. Then right-click and select Cut Vector. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now you see when I select this top vector, all we have is the top portion of the circle. Now select the remainder of the circle and hit delete. Then go into node edit mode and smooth out the lines for a little bit of a smoother transition. Then I'm going to select a larger 2-circle vector. Insert nodes where the lines intersect, and cut vector there as well. Now select the leftover portion and delete it. Then we are going to select all the pieces we've been working on, and come over here to the Join tool. Hit the Join button, and voila! We have all one piece. Now all we have to do is make the bottom portion, which we can do just like we did on the Spade. I'll use the Line tool to create a rough triangle shape. Turn 2 of the lines into Bezier curves and shape them to match the base. Now we will insert points and cut vectors just like with the top piece. Then select both of the vectors and hit Join. Now we have a nice looking club. For the heart, we are going to start by using the Draw Arc tool to get nice perfect arcs at the top. Now, I'm going to go into node editing mode and click on the end point of the arc and go to Edit Polyline, which gives you a line tool to continue drawing the shape of the heart. Remember, we'll come back and clean up the lines when we're done. Now I'm using the smooth point as a way to quickly change the spans into Beziers. Adjusting it to make it look great, and we have a lovely heart. Now that we have 4 nice clean shapes, we can look at making a toolpath out of them. I'll give you a little preview here. I hope this has helped you understand different ways you can use the node editing tool in VCarve to create precise designs for carving on your CNC. Next time, I will show how I clean up an image that's been drawn with the Trace Bitmap tool using node editing mode and many of these techniques. Do you use the node editing tool? If so, do you have your own tips and tricks? Feel free to leave them in a comment below so we can all help each other learn. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have fun and stay safe in the shop.